Day 5 of the first test in Rawalpindi, and it's time to ask George. Daniel Hurley asks, is this England's greatest ever one-off test win?
I don't know. I mean, right at this moment, it kind of feels like it. But look, there'll be lots of others. Recency bias always plays its part, doesn't it? And off the top of my head, winning in Chennai was a big deal. Winning in Gaul was a big deal. Winning in Adelaide in 2010, that's a big deal. But there'll be lots, if you think over the years. But yeah, right up there, right? I mean, fantastic win, just so unlikely. No one really had any right to win anything on that wicket. And I'm not sure that any other England captain would have done it. No England captain that I've seen, I don't think, could have won this game.
Sushant asks, in the context of the situation on the pitch, Stokes should get the player of the match for his captaincy alone. I think it was Ollie Robinson who got it. It might not even needed to be him either.
Yeah, Ollie Robinson got it, and it surprised me. But actually, it was a real flatty, wasn't it? And Ollie Robinson was terrific. I would have given it to Ben Stokes. Yeah, I thought Harry Brook was the obvious choice, and with these things, it doesn't matter. A player of the match awards, they're nonsense. They're just an opportunity to attach some sponsorship to something else. Yeah. It's about winning and not about personal achievements. And the player of the match award too often becomes an extension of the complete obsession some people have with personal statistics. Personal statistics don't matter in a team game. I mean, just to go on that a bit further, I think personal statistics are the reason India didn't win the T20 World Cup, because there's such an obsession with personal performances. And it's about teams winning. It's always about teams winning, and Ben Stokes knows that.
Tom Brown asks, a lot of credit will rightly go to Stokes after being told he was not fit enough for international cricket 12 months ago, how impressive was Ollie Robinson? Good
question. Very impressive. I don't know the way you say he was told he wasn't fit enough. He wasn't fit enough. I mean, he couldn't get through the game. He couldn't get through more than 2 spells.
And he was told outed publicly as well.
He was, and I think he had been told privately, and I think that didn't work. And I thought, by the end of the Ashes, I'm a big fan of Ollie Robinson, actually have been quite a long time, but let's be honest, his performance in Australia was poor. And actually the end of that series is a bit embarrassing, him backing away beyond square leg and sort of barely attempting to hit the ball. I think he'll look back on that and wince when he's an old man. But he's making it right. I mean, my God, he's making it right. He's always been a very clever bowler. It just seems he's some calm in him. He's got a mixture of confidence and calm and skill that bodes really, really well. And to the point that Tom makes is really astute, that he has been sort of publicly shamed, as you say. I suppose he's had a taste of Test cricket and then he's had it taken away from him. And while some people aren't able to do it, he's gone away, learned the lessons and come back even better. And the only thing missing in the package of his skills was really his stamina. And he's he started answering that. But to go a long way to winning a test on the 5th day in Asia on a flat wicket, that's a fantastic effort. Yeah, he deserves a lot of praise.
Aiden McLachlan asks, is Stokes a better captain than Brearley? As a subject close to your heart, I think.
Yes. Yes, he is. What an astute question. I mean, look, I probably said that yesterday a bit provocatively, although I have been thinking it for a while. But the more I think about it, the more he is. And I'll tell you why. For one thing, he can lead from the front with bat, ball and in the field, which Mike, for all his many qualities, couldn't. He couldn't do it. Being an all-rounder is helpful in that regard. But he doesn't... I think Mike Brearley maybe had struggled, for example, Mike Brearley, be one example, struggled to gain the respect of one or two of his senior players because of his struggles with the bat. What did he average, 22, 23 as a specialist batter? That's tough. Ben Stokes has shown he can win games with bat and ball, and he's shown he's a fantastic fielder. I mean, he's had 2 Player of the Match awards in World Cup finals, hasn't he? No, he hasn't. He didn't get the one in the T20, but he may well have done. He could have done. So he sort of proved what he can do as an individual player. But more than that, he's shown what he could do as a sort of selfless leader. He's shown that he'll bowl the hard overs. He'll show that he'll play the selfless shots, which see his own average reduce. He's shown he won't ask anyone to do what he wouldn't do himself, and I think that inspires a loyalty, a love, even that you're seeing in the wholehearted commitment from everyone in that side to what he's trying to do. And the other thing that he maybe doesn't get the credit for, this whole thing about Brearley and his degree in people, and no doubt that's right. I'm not meaning to disparage Mike Brearley at all. I mean, Lord, I was a little boy watching that 81 Ashes, and the transformation was incredible, and he got the best out of Ian Botham. The one thing that the one thing that Stokes might not have done is get the best out of his key all-rounder yet, which is him. So that's something we'll have to watch. But his man management stuff, the whole thing about Brearley having a degree in people, well, maybe Stokes does too. We've seen him get Anderson and Broad to bowl differently. We've seen him manage them really well, get everyone to buy into the way England are trying to play. They look like a very united, happy team. And I think they've won 7 out of 8 under him, and before him they've won 1 out of 17. So really, whichever way I look at it, I do think he is starting to need to be recognised as a great captain. I know it's early days. I know those are strong words. But right now, things could change. But right now, I absolutely mean it.
Arca asks, to what extent do you think England's new approach to tests might change the way other countries play the format?
Yeah, really good question.
Really good question, yeah.
And I don't know the answer, because I wonder whether you can still exploit the way England play if you're a bit wiser, and just play your own game. And I'm sure Australia will, to be fair, but and New Zealand probably too. So let's see. But it's a really interesting question. We did see that sort of Brendan McCullum ironically changed world cricket, I think, from sort of around 2015, and he made it better in lots of ways. And I think Ben Stokes is building on that. He was a beneficiary of that. Where it will lead, I don't know. You do tend to see that teams copy the way successful teams play. Well, England is currently ranked 7th in the World Test Championship, so we're not there yet. But they're playing a real attractive style of play. They're playing the sort of way that, I think I said yesterday, you're more likely to set your alarm at 5 a.m. to watch this stuff, aren't you? This game, you and I have seen a lot of these games, which would have been the most tedious last couple of days. That's right, though. And only people like us, proper diehards, would have been watching and finding any enjoyment in it. Stato freaks and stuff like that, of which I am one. But we're the only people who would have sort of taken pleasure in that slightly, and again, I'm saying this as reference to me, sort of somewhat autistic way you have a love of the stats and the result, what come what may. But we have to look at cricket beyond the diehard idiots like me and you. We have to appeal to more people, don't we? And the way they're playing will. But whether you can exploit it, I don't know yet. But I have thought you could, but maybe you've got to do it with a lot of skill as well. England's batting lineup, wow, it is pretty special. You can't do it unless you are quite skillful. But I still think there's something about Stokes. He goes into the casino and he basically goes at 7 p.m. He goes all in at 7:05, and he's home by 7:10, having lost all his money. There is still that possibility with the way that England play, and I wonder if you can lure them by being really, really defensive and force them into ever more outrageous declarations and ever more crazy run chases. I don't know, but I do know that it's going to be massive amount of fun finding out. And that's a great thing, eh?